everybody, my name is Tommy Tucker from Tommy Tucker Blues. Today I'd like to show you a very commonly used walking bass technique, kind of popularized by Stevie Ray Vaughan. The gamut was picked up by guys like Chris Duarte and Kenny Wayne and all the blues cats that come out of everywhere use this technique. Everybody and their dog learns how to do this, and it's a very effective way to keep motion in a chord by use of a walking bass line. So in this example, we're in the key of E, and I'm using essentially an open E power chord, which is very simple. It's an index finger bar across strings 5 and 4 in the 2nd fret. Finger 1, I'm using the first flange of the index finger, the pad of the index finger, to kind of wedge between those two strings. And the flange continues on to mute the 3rd string. So I'm fretting strings 5 and 4, but I'm angling the flange off at an angle so that it hits string 3, but it kills it by not fretting it. If you're careful, you can keep strings 2 and 1 open because the finger is angled so far away that it's not even touching strings 2 and 1. The notes that are being fretted on strings 5 and 4, these guys, are actually the same notes as strings 2 and 1 open. That's a B-E and a high B-E. So if you strum all 6 strings, you're going to hear the open 6th string, the 5th string fretted by the bar, the 4th string fretted by the bar, 3rd string killed by the angling off index finger, and strings 2 and 1 open. So if you strum all 6 strings, you get a nice big fat open E power chord. The crux of the walking bass is a juxtaposition or an alternation of a bass note being struck with a downstroke followed by an upstroke. The upstroke, it's critical that you learn this basic technique. Finger 1 will stay in position, hovering over or even touching the strings 5 and 4 that it was fretting in the 2nd fret, but you kind of just release the fretting pressure, keeping the finger in contact with those strings. So you're going from fretted, and then if you just release the fretting pressure lightly, it'll kill those 2 strings. Towards that end, furthermore, the free fingers 2, 3, and 4 come into play. Finger 1 stays in position there in the 2nd fret, and fingers 2, 3, 4 couch or drape themselves lightly across all 6 strings. So essentially all 4 fingers are touching all 6 strings, so that all 6 strings are effectively muted. So what you've got to learn to do, it's a basic 1-2 combination. You're going to go down on a bass note, in this case the 6th string open E. You're going to release the fretting pressure, finger 1, bring the draped fingers 2, 3, or 4, laying lightly across the strings, and come up with a muted upstroke. If you press too hard with any of the fingers in the muted upstroke, you'll get fretted sound, which you don't want. So practice, you just grab the strings basically and drape your fingers across so they're all dead. So we have this 1-2 combination. Down on the open 6th string as your first bass note. In slow motion, you will mute the strings and then come up. That's the 1-2 of it. So you have 1, we're going to count at 1 and. The numbered beats will be 1 through 4. Those will be bass notes. And the word and is what we will use on the upstroke. So we have right now 1 and. If you want to play along, try and maintain an equal distant groove of just 8th notes. So you have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So that's the basic movement. Now, what causes the walking is an addition of different bass notes. So I'm going to take a second alternate bass note to add with the to the open E. So we'll have the open E, and now I'm going to add a second bass note, which will have the free finger 3, your ring finger, is going to fret the 6th string 3rd fret. That's a G sharp. That's the major 3rd of an E chord. This guy. So I'm going to alternate between E and G sharp, and in between will be the muted upstroke. Again, we're counting in eighth notes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. That's down, up, down, up, down. So down on the bass note, up on the muted dead strings. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So, you know, you can speed this up. And furthermore, you can add more bass notes to make it interesting. There's all kinds of stuff you can do. I'll add a third bass note. Right now, I'll add the 6th note of the E scale, which is this. Going to be finger 3 on the 5th string, 4th fret. So here's our note order going forward. Open E is first. The G sharp with finger 3 on the 6th string, 4th fret is second. The third note, I'm going to go to the third note. I'm going to make this fretted B. I'll come to the 6th in a minute here. But I'm going to add this B note, which is already fretted by the index finger bar in this E power chord. So our first 3 notes in this case now are going to be open E, G sharp, and that fretted B on the 5th string, 2nd fret, that's already being held by the index finger bar, this guy. So here they are in order, 1, 2, 3. Now if I go forwards and backwards, I get a 4-beat figure. The note order is E, G sharp, B, G sharp. This. Take those bass notes and intersperse them or play an upstroke in between each of them, like so. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. I'll do it slow. Oops. Okay. So now we can add more notes. We can add this 6th. Like I was saying, the 6th is a whole step higher than the B. It's going to be this C sharp on the 5th string, 4th fret, finger 3. So now forwards, backwards, from low to high, our bass note order is this. Maintaining that order of E, G sharp, B, C sharp. 4 beats. Moving forward from that point, if you want to add more to that, so you can add the flatted 7th, which just takes that 6th degree, that C sharp, and pulls it up 1/2 step higher. Finger 3 just slides up from the 5th string, 4th fret to the 5th fret. That's your flatted 7th. You don't need to know these names, but that's what they are. So now you're going to go, you're going to do kind of a forwards and backwards thing. You're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the first 4 beats. Now we're going to turn around and with 4 beats, starting on that higher flatted 7th, and go back down through the order. So you have 4 ascending, 4 descending. You know, the typical boogie woogie. But we're going to stick the muted upstrokes in between them, and we get this. That high note you heard there, that was the octave E that's also automatically held in the index finger bar with finger 1 bar and strings 5 and 4 in the 2nd fret. There it is right there on the 4th string. That's your high octave E, an octave higher than the low open E. So now I'm going, or you could go. kind of sticking that high E in place of the flatted seventh, like so. Well, there you have it, friends. That's how to do the Walking Blues bass line. As a side note, if you want to take all the information, everything I told you today that took place on strings 6, 5, 4, if you move all of that towards the floor one string, you get open A. It's the exact same thing. The bar drops one string towards the floor. Everything drops one string towards the floor. And now you have back up, back down. Thank you, friends. My name is Tommy Tucker. Check it out on Tommy Tucker Blues. There'll be more to come. Thank you for watching. Take care.